Listen, I mean, I think it's important, though, to point out that, I watched the tape this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and maybe I was a little bleary-eyed, but I saw what I saw. And was it perfect? No. And you heard the coach say it, and, I mean, the coach has been very kind with describing his players' performances so far. But one of the things we asked for last week before this game, kicked off was you wanted to see Caleb improve. I saw progress from him. Is it perfect? No. But I saw some progress, and I've talked to somebody who, watched this closely as well, and he saw some of the same stuff. So, long way to go, but incremental step forward for sure, in my opinion. I saw progress from the quarterback in the first half for sure. Like, I'm not trying to sell you all hope after, kind of just hanging our heads for the first segment, but I thought Caleb was better yesterday than he was Monday night.
Yeah. Look, and I want to read you this tweet. This is from Brian Ayotte. He says, what good is the constant flow of negative media given us as a Bears fan base? Nothing. If people always do things as they've done in the past, their future looks exactly like their past. Be better, Chicago media. The Bears just got beat by giving up 52 points. Ryan Poles has won 15 games in 3+ years, and he's mad at Chicago sports radio? Radio?
Yeah, you sound like Dicka right there.
Radio fans. Zero. Yeah. It's zero. Like, that's what you're mad at? That is the ultimate passing the buck on. Like, not blaming.
We call that projection.
Yeah, the projecting. I'll see your one bit of hope, and I'll give you a little hope, too. And I'm not... You know me, I'm not a hope seller.
No, you're not. I would not say that that's on your business card,
I try, like, especially in the off seasons, to give benefits of the doubt to new people.
Absolutely.
I remember when the Denver Broncos coaching staff took over 2 years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
Vance Joseph is a former head coach who was the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos. Do you remember the game where he gave up 70 to the Miami Dolphins in like game 3 or 4? If you look at that first year with Sean Payton, in the first few games, there were a couple of 30-point games they gave up, and like they rallied against our Bears after they lost to Miami like 70-30 or something like that. I want to say they lost by 50. And they allowed 70. Look how times have changed. Mike McDaniel, everyone's favorite back then, scoring a bunch of points. No one can stop him. And Vance Joseph couldn't stop a fart, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Well, that defense can play now, and at least last year they had a very good defense, the same defensive coordinator. They got the right people in place. He knew what he was doing. Dennis Allen is cut from the same cloth, a former head coach who does have his defensive coordinator chops. So what I'm hopeful of is they'll weed out some of the guys who don't want to play. They'll figure out who's with them and who's not with them, and hopefully this will get better. Now,
Ben had experience with this himself. When he took over the offensive coordinator role with Detroit in 2022, their defense was hot trash for the first 8, 9, 10 games. And they found a way to become better as this season went on.
Yeah. So, like, if you want to look for historical things, I think under a not a first-time head coach, and this is Sean Payton, who's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame, but still, the side of the defense, where the things are very similar, Denver Broncos were terrible in the first part of that new regime's year in 2023.
They gave up 70 points to Miami. They lost 70-20. That's after losing to Washington 35-33 the week before.
Right, and they still gave up, like, the Bears still scored, I want to say, 28 in that game.
31-28.
Yeah, that was another terrible loss that the Bears have had. So, that's, Waddle gave you, Caleb got better.
Yeah, I saw progress.
Look at the Denver Broncos. Now let's get on to crapping on them again.
Yeah, listen, I think it's important, though, to point out that, I watched the tape this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and maybe I was a little bleary-eyed, but I saw what I saw. And was it perfect? No. And you heard the coach say it, and, the coach has been very kind with describing his players' performances so far. But one of the things we asked for last week before this game, kicked off was you wanted to see Caleb improve. I saw progress from him. Is it perfect? No. But I saw some progress, and I've talked to somebody who, watched this closely as well, and he saw some of the same stuff. So, long way to go, but incremental step forward for sure, in my opinion.
Another notable thing that Ben Johnson said, too, is he said that he saw some things with the wide receivers or skill guys that he didn't love.
There was a couple of situations where, you know how he has said, no block, no rock?
Who was that?
Ben said that.
No, I know. Who were the...
There were a couple of situations on a wide receiver screen that I saw. I actually wrote one down where I think DJ and Rome both didn't do what they were supposed to do on a Zacchaeus screen.
All right, let's get to the calls here. 312-332-3776. Julian in Lindenhurst. What's up, Julian?
Hey, guys. All that excitement I had yesterday morning has turned into discouragement. My confusion here falls after what you guys had said in the opening. So you got Dennis Allen hired. You know what kind of defense he's going to run. Why don't you draft the defensive players that he needs? Now you got all these guys that you drafted. They don't even dress yesterday. And you cut Pickens. His draft picks aren't working. I hate to pile on polls, but it's more and more falling in his lap.
Why would you?
I'm just sorry, guys.
Julian, you're a smart guy. Why would you hate to pile on polls? It's not piling on. It's the reason the Bears are where they're at is because of their general manager. And if you drill down more, and I'll give you my theories on all that later in the show. But it's ownership. It starts at the top, and this stuff is permissible for years and years, and it is just taken by ownership.
Yeah, it's sad. The guys have a great show. Thanks a lot for taking my call.
All right, Julian.
And listen, Dennis Allen can coach. Dennis Allen's going to have to make some adjustments going forward because the crew he's got right now can't do what Dennis Allen wants to do. I heard Yerk say it earlier today, and I found myself nodding my head when I heard him say it, that if you want to keep going out there and playing a ton of man coverage with this group that's getting no pass rush to support them, you're going to have some long afternoons.
So you're going to rebuild the rebuild again.
You're going to have to adjust to how how you're running your system, or you're going to find yourself in trouble.
Drew in Milwaukee, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Drew?
Hey, guys. I called in last week, and I said very much the same thing that Sylvie said, that there was just no bright spots after week one. First of all, you can't put me in a box. I thought Caleb and Rome, and then I actually thought that the running game looked pretty good yesterday. At some point, the game got so out of hand that you know what I mean? You're playing 1st and 25 or 2nd and 30, But anytime I'm calling in, I'm laser focused on the offense. And I thought Caleb, wasn't just, I thought he was pretty good. He made big throws. It wasn't just the script, he got some big third downs. And if Rome is going to emerge as the number one wide receiver, that's a bright spot.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that too, what happens with that, with Rome and maybe some of the other wide receivers.
You're right, though, too. They ran the ball better. They ran it for 134 yards, 5.3 yards per carry from Swift alone. He only got 12 carries because the game got out of hand, but
the problem
they had more success running the ball.
The problem is with both of those things is they both made catastrophic mistakes.
No doubt.
DeAndre Swift with the game still undecided had a big fumble. As they were driving.
Yes.
Caleb Williams on the 2nd and 30, and nothing good happens with downs and distances like that. But still, you cannot allow that to happen. I don't know if he was trying to make a play. You watched the film. Was he going for Zacchaeus?
He was trying to be Superman.
Or was he trying to throw the ball out of bounds, and again, he came up short?
No, he wasn't trying to throw the ball out of bounds.
Well, why wasn't he?
I don't know. And listen, quarterbacks are not going to be 100% mistake-free through games. And he had his share of mistakes. That's one of them. That is a big mistake. There's no question about it. But the body of work in the first half, to me, was improvement from what you saw in week one. So, you scored 14 points and had 175 yards of offense in the first half, and you had the interception, you had them turn it over on downs, and you had the fumble. So they've got to clean up a ton of stuff. But there are moments where this does work, and you just got to be a little more mistake-free.
Delano,
do you want scrambled salmon and applesauce, please?
Yes, please. Please.
That sounds good?
Yes, sounds great. Can I get some, Delano, can I get some too?
What do you want in the morning?
Delano.
I'm going to the grocery store. I can buy anything you want to eat in the morning. What is that?
He's having a great conversation with either son or daughter. Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
So we're gonna have a
He sounds
smoothie then.
Okay, smoothies.
Maybe we'll make some granola to put in it.
Granola too. This guy is a dream, but he's not on the phone. Delano. Hello.
Oh, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Can I get a smoothie too? I like banana strawberry for me. Can I get one?
Yeah, we make some delicious smoothies. Me and my 6-year-old son.
That's awesome.
So,
We
we'll
heard
make
your
it a real good one.
parenting.
Maybe we should make one for the whole team because they need something.
What do you got for us, Delano?
Okay, I wanted to talk about the character of the players that Ryan Poles has been drafting. I mean, we got a lot of nice guys. Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, a number of, Ozzy, all of them. They're all nice guys. But what we really need is some people with some nastiness, some, a mean disposition, like Richard Dent or Wilbur Marshall. Like back in the day, they had a nasty disposition. They'd hit people. And then the other thing, the one that we do have, like people mention all the time, Jaquan Brisker, you haven't heard his name called. Where has he been? Where have the big hits been? And then we're talking about the secondary being the strength of our team, and then they get shredded by the Detroit Lions. I'll leave it there, but I don't think we have enough nastiness on the team. Like we could have drafted first, but instead who did we get? Wright?
Yes, Darnell Wright.
Our right tackle. Yeah, Darnell Wright.
Delano,
so
thanks.
Anyway, that's where I'll leave it. No anger when they get beat. I haven't heard anybody get angry. I didn't hear anger from Ben Johnson. I didn't hear anger from Caleb Williams. He's just like, I got to get better. I got to hit that shot. But I didn't hear somebody being pissed off that they lost like that. I was pissed. Fans are pissed. I want to see my team pissed that they got beat like that.
It's all fair. Delano, thank you. It's 12 losses in 13 games, I believe. Now.
Yeah, I can understand the frustration. More players like Richard Dent and Wilbur Marshall as well. Richard Dent's a Hall of Famer, and Wilbur played at an exceptionally high level as well. Both played the game with an attitude for sure, but both were highly skilled players. The skill part of it is more important to me than the how you're going to carry yourself, but this team could use a little more nastiness, for sure.
Right, nastiness, and then, you were alluding to, talent. They don't have many blue chippers. I always remember when we had Polian on the show after they made the selection of Ryan Poles, we asked him to take us through the process, and he was telling us we discussed how many blue chip guys this Bears roster has now and how many you need.
Yeah.
And they've gotten rid of more blue chip players under Ryan Poles than they've acquired. They got rid of Khalil Mack. They got rid of Roquan Smith. And who have they gotten? He has not drafted even a single Pro Bowler yet. And Darnell Wright is like an average plus player. He's better than average, but he's not a good. I wouldn't say Darnell Wright's a good player.
He's not in the Pro Bowl conversation for sure.
So 312-332-3776. To me, when I get the most angry about the Bears, it has to do with their general manager, then them doubling down on that same general manager, and if it will prevent them from making a change if things get ugly on that front. But they're always out of sorts. They draft a quarterback when the coaches are on the hot seat. They hire a new general manager when the president's retiring. This is the way they do things, and we wonder why they're back at it again, losing 12 out of 13.